Men of Reddit, what is something you want women to know? Story 1. I'd like women to know that they are the source of upwards of 60 of my day in, day out mental anguish, and I am a graduate student. I'd like women to know that they are one of the reasons I dislike getting out of bed in the morning and dislike going to sleep. Do you know what it's like to just arbitrarily desire something, particularly when it is something you cannot have without any control? I don't want a woman in my life. I don't need a new friend or life partner, but I have an unconscious, heart-wrenching desire for one. It's just biological, and I cannot stop it, no matter how much I want to and no matter how hard I try. It would be one thing if I ever had any success with women, if getting into a relationship weren't so mind-bogglingly difficult for me. But at this point, at my age and with my experience level, my innate desire for women is akin to an incurable disease. I just have to deal with the pain, not to mention embarrassment. To me, women are exclusively a means to an end. So my motives are exactly what you think they are. I want you. That's why I'm talking to you. And I will absolutely lie, put on a nice facade, or otherwise act in such a way to make you comfortable because, for me, the stakes are high. Anyway, downvote away. This is a throwaway anyway. But it's the truth, and I know many men feel the same way as me. Story 2. You know that thing where you offer a guy a blowjob, and then you lick it around the tip and say, do you like that? And then kiss it and say, does that feel good? And then stick your tongue in the pee hole and ask, what does that feel like? You are in the process of giving the world's worst blowjob. Yes, it all feels good. Yes, we like it. No, don't stick your tongue in the pee hole. The worst part is after doing all that is looking up into the guy's face and saying, are you getting close? The answer is no. He's not getting close because you haven't started yet. Story 3. You're not fat, you're beautiful. Even with the bedhead hair and the frumpy work clothes, the sway you hold over our attention and instincts is both primal and substantial. You have no idea the restraint we muster while you're doing something as mundane as changing shirts or brushing your hair. All we want is for you to see your own beauty and your own potential the same way we do. We want you to be happy, and we're willing to bend over backward to see that smile on your face. Both dresses are fine. Really, please just pick one. We're going to be late meeting our friends for dinner. We really do love you. We also really do leave our phones on tables or Skype clients online when we're AFK. Leaving a stream of 6-7 messages asking where we are makes us feel like total rubes. If there's no response after more than 5 minutes, presume absence. Fine is a perfectly acceptable response to any question on how clothing article X or jewelry item Y makes you look. It really is possible for us to be thinking of nothing. Sometimes, just sometimes, look at us like we're a meal and make us feel like the rock star that every guy thinks he is in his own head. Just once in a while. Make that kiss feel like it means something. We really don't know if you're mad or not. Just tell us what's wrong, please. We will unintentionally let our eyes drift over to other women while out in public. It's the lizard brain taking temporary, involuntary control over our attention and eyes for a split second. Regardless of social or relationship status, our brains are constantly evaluating the physical suitability of other women, and we can't turn it off. Note, if it weren't for this process, we wouldn't have found you attractive in the first place. So have a little sympathy for the male condition before you jab us in the ribs. You are overreacting. We bring you flowers and accompany you to girly movies because we want to see you happy, not because we're hoping to get laid. Story 4. For the love of God, stop initiating conversation with me while I'm in another room or even a different floor. I can't fudge hear you, and you're basically telling me that your comfort convenience is more important than mine, since I'm going to have to stop whatever I'm doing and come closer to you so I can hear. Story 5. When you say you don't want a relationship, but then act like you're in a relationship with that person, it really fudge with their head. If you don't want a relationship, don't do things that make it seem like you do. It can really do some weird shoot to a man's mind. Story 6. Playing games are hard to get isn't cute or fun. It's annoying. When we ask you what's wrong and you say nothing, but it's totally obvious that something is wrong, it's annoying. Communication is a very important part of relationships. Thus, it drives me and maybe other away. If you aren't willing to talk about your problems with the person you're having intimacy with, who the hell are you willing to talk to? Useless meaning accomplishes nothing, and it too is very annoying. Petty drama is bad to start, but it's even worse to react to. You look like a child, and most men don't want to date a child. Story 7. If you're angry at us for something, be rational and tell us. We're not mind readers. We won't know if you don't tell us. If you think such irrational tactics will make us feel bad, think again. Some of us are a bit more advanced. We'll eventually find another slot C for our tab D. Story 8. Ladies, only the weakest of men want a woman to be meek and submissive. If the man in your life expects you to do as he says, wants to disregard your opinion, seeks to dominate you at every point, then walk away. Just walk away and find somebody who sees you as a worthy equal. Life is too short to spend it being less than who you are. Story 9. When you tell us about something, our natural tendency is to try to fix it. We assume that you are telling us because you want us to solve the problem. So before you tell us something, please say one of the following: I need your help, opinion on something. Or I want to tell you something, but I just want you to listen. You don't need to fix it. Story 10. There's a lot of shy guys out there, myself included, who are sometimes afraid to make the first move. While I know a man is supposed to be the one to make the first move, it's really hard to sometimes. So if you're interested in a guy, any kind of small talk will give him the courage to talk to you more. Story 11. I can actually reach you pretty well, but I want you to ask or tell me what you're thinking if you want me to react. If it goes unsaid, it will go undone. And please don't beat around the bush. Men, this isn't about chores or saying hurtful things. Shame on you if you don't spontaneously help out or say mean things. Story 12. If you're a bigger girl and you want me to eat your puss to the best of my ability, do a brother a favor and hold your flower open for me, because I don't have enough hands fingers to hold open both the outer lips and the inner lips to really get at your clit. Thanks in advance, ladies. Story 13. We need guy time. We don't want to go out fudge other women. We just want to get tipsy and do boring guy shoot. Once a month is all we need, just as long as you are not there. Don't get moody and call them Samael us the entire time we are out. Save your nagging for when we get home hungover. Story 14. If a guy says, whatever you want to do, or whatever makes you happy, there are no mind games going on. He actually just values your happiness over getting his own way. Going out versus staying in pizza versus Chinese, etc. If we cared, we'd pick one. Otherwise, your happiness will make whatever we eat do that much better. Story 15. Guys don't make a move on every woman they're interested in. Seriously, I've met dozens of women who think that if a man is interested, he will make the move, and if he's not interested, he won't, with 100% certainty. Sometimes we get nervous. Sometimes the timing's not right. Story 16. I don't want to fudge all the time. I really just like cuddling sometimes. Just because I have decently big muscles, am physically fit, and kind to humans and animals alike, does not mean I want to fudge. Also, if you want pleasure from us, just ask. More often than not, we'd be happy to do it. I know I am. Edit. One more thing. This is something I was lucky enough to work through myself. But if your boyfriend, guy friend, doesn't really display emotion, let him know you're okay if they need a good cry. I cry when overwhelmed or saddened. It doesn't make me any less of a man. Story 17. When I tell you I want to understand how you feel about a situation, I genuinely want to understand what you're going through. Shrugging it off like it's nothing, or saying things like, you wouldn't understand, or I have history that I'm not comfortable talking about, won't dissipate the issue. For all you know, my past might be more fudge up than yours, and I'm trying to use that as a way of reaching out to you. Not in a you're weird, I'm weird, why not be weird together sort of way, but more of a, I know you're going through a rough patch and you'd like support. I'm going through similar issues myself. How about we talk about what's going on in our lives? Sometimes we just want to listen and understand. Sometimes we're looking for moral, emotional support from peers with similar issues, but pushing us away just makes us want to know more. Story 18. Start from day one, Durham. Don't put all the onus on the male to woo and somehow convince you that he's potential romantic partner worthy of. Story 19. This may get buried. 1, sometimes I just want to stare into your eyes. They say more than your words ever could. 2, you try way too hard to look beautiful, but you honestly don't need to. 3, you look adorable in anything you wear. 4, you have friends that are guys. Doesn't mean I think you're fudge them. 5, I have friends that are girls. I am not fudge them. 6, I'm well aware that you think Joe in your math class is hot. Honestly, I can't say I blame you. He's a good-looking dude. Are you going to leave me for him? Probably not, which is why I just don't press the issue. 7, yes, I stared at that hot girl's jerk. I got a good darn look, too. Just because I look doesn't mean I want it. Sometimes I like to enjoy the scenery. 8, guys watch adult content. Fact. 9, seeing you upset breaks my heart. 10, sometimes there's a lot going on in my head that I can't exactly express out loud, but you just telling me that whatever's bothering me will be okay somehow makes it human. 11, little arguments are good for every relationship. Make-up intimacy is a thing for a reason. 12, I am terrified of losing you. You're the single most amazing thing that has ever happened to me. 14, you know more about me than anyone. 15, Sometimes you're the only solid rock I have in my life. My whole world could be crashing, but I know you're there to help me pull myself out of the water when I feel like I am drowning. Just knowing that you're there for me when I need you means more to me than you could ever imagine. Story 20. That time you smiled when I caught you looking at me on the subway that one Friday in April made everything shoot that happened that week at work disappear. Edit. I wish I'd talked to her and gotten her number now so I could thank her for the gold. See you on the 6th train, darling. Story 21. To my girlfriend, no, you aren't bothering me. You never bother me. I just have one of those angry faces. To all other women, please judge me on what I say and do, rather than my perceived body language or my expression. It hurts to hold the door for you and then hear you comment to your friends that I am not a nice person. Story 22. If a girl is really, really hot, we don't care that she's a piece of shoot. Talking about the fudge-up shoot she did at work does not make us think she is unattractive. We might agree that she's a bad person, but hot is hot. Our male body part don't care if a hot girl totally stole your parking space, flirted with a married guy, and then ate Margie's food from the fridge. All the male body part cares about is dat jerk, and when you bring her up, that is all he sees. Story 23. We're nowhere near as good at multitasking as you. This applies primarily to talking while doing anything else. We're not being distant or keeping to ourselves while driving, watching TV, or cooking. It's just really hard to focus on what you're saying while trying to not hit pedestrians' other vehicles. Follow the plot on the show you insisted we watch, or not give you food poisoning. Story 24. I don't feel I should have to pay for everything all the time. No. I won't buy you that because you want it. You have a job and can pay for your own stuff from time to time. Sorry, not trying to be a male body part or anything, but I have larger ambitions and want to save money to buy a house. Taking you out a few times a week and paying for all of it doesn't really work out well for me. Story 25. How much intense focus is required to hold in a fart for several hours? I know you said you don't care if I fart in front of you, but I don't think you realize what kind of caliber I'm working with here. This isn't a cute little squeak. This is some full-on teeth-rattling, shock and awe type shoot. Story 26. If you want to know our opinion feelings, ask verbally, and try not to be disappointed if we don't have any strong feelings about the subject at hand. It doesn't mean we dislike it, just that we could take it or leave it. I'm personally open to the woman's opinion in these situations. If you enjoy it, I'll enjoy it. If we actually dislike it, we'll say so. To go along with that, we mean exactly what we say and nothing else. That's a lot of ketchup. Doesn't mean we think you are fat. It means we think that 6 ounces of ketchup will probably make you sick. That restaurant doesn't look very inviting means we don't like the look of that restaurant. Not that we dislike whatever kind of food is being served. If you have any questions about a statement, ask them when they are relevant. I'm not going to have to remember what I said about the restaurant we didn't go to the day afterwards because we didn't go there. Another important thing is that our opinions aren't infinite. Something we said last month may not be true the next, let alone a day after we say it. I feel like going for a walk today doesn't mean we've developed a love of hiking or jogging. It just means we feel like going for a walk today. In my experience, it seems like women use a lot of veiled language to communicate. Men say what they mean in most cases and aren't trying to imply anything else. This makes us clumsy with our language, making statements that will likely appear to have veiled meanings, which can be misconstrued as insults. It also means we're unwilling or incapable of reading into your statements. Story 27. From about 12 to about 20, men have to constantly keep in check their rage and intimacy drive. It is not an excuse in any way for men who are violent or lewd, but it is a complex and exhausting struggle. I'm pleased that the world holds dear the virtues of compassion, kindness, temperance, and civility. But when we men are going through puberty and just post-puberty, it takes a lot of very real effort to hold down the demons of our nature. I know I'm going to get zinged for this, but every guy I've spoken about this with, in those moments of deep honesty, has understood and confirmed this point. Story 28. I don't even have to read this to know the answers. Little Spoon will be mentioned somewhere. Something about how looking at other girls doesn't mean anything, and probably something about not picking up on women's hints. These are just the same threads over and over. Story 29. We are honestly as clueless as you are regarding how to keep another person happy, fulfilled, and in love with you. Also, many of us really want to be the traditional provider of yesteryear, but due to wage stagnation and the erosion of benefits, it's an extremely difficult prospect these days. We carry around massive guilt because we can't measure up to our fathers and grandfathers in this. Story 30. I have a great deal of experience with women in my life that have the assumption that just because I am male and have upper body strength, every heavy object magically becomes light and physical labor becomes easy. That's not the case. Yes, I am capable of lifting that 40-some-odd-inch CRT television into your upstairs bedroom while you are not. That doesn't mean it's a simple task by any metric, though, and you ought to realize the value of the work I'm doing for you out of the goodness of my heart. Just wanted to make that clear in case there were any ladies who didn't know. I am aware that not all women think like this. I just have a lot of experience with women who do. Story 31. The one subtle hint we do get is after the first date when you drop off the planet, but it takes a few days and it makes us feel like total shoot. So there's that. How would you feel in that situation where a guy leaves you hanging after a first date? Story 32. Pro tip. Ladies, most men would rather be hit with a bat than go shopping. It does not mean we do not love you. We'd take down for you and we'd take a rusty ice pick to the eye for you. Just don't make us go to Target. Piggyback pro tip. Most of us will gladly do the grocery shopping as long as we can go by ourselves. Once again, this has nothing to do with you. It's just that men and women do not shop the same. Yes, there are exceptions to every rule on both sides. It is not a relaxing thing for most men. If your honey bear can't handle a grocery list, then you have bigger issues than how you plan your quality time. Tertiary pro tip. Ladies, if you're single and a guy says he would love to go shopping with you, he is trying to get in your pants and/or he has no desire to get in any woman's pants. Story 33. If you tell me you just want to be friends, then I will flirt with and date other women. I don't do this to make you jealous. I do it because you are just a friend, like you said you wanted to be. If I don't immediately get pissed off at you for being a lunatic and I decide for some reason to ask you out because you obviously were interested in me, why else would you get butthurt when you saw me flirting with another woman? Then you probably shouldn't call me a creep and say that you could never date me. If for some reason I ignore you and cut you out of my life after that point, then maybe you should take the initiative and apologize for treating me like shoot if you want to salvage some sort of relationship out of this. Because, hey, that's what friends do when they hurt you. They apologize. They don't just follow you around and wait for the guy to initiate the conversation. Story 34. Be smart and don't trust society to protect you. Violation is as ubiquitous as punctuation marks in the book of human history, but most of it doesn't get written down. Don't travel alone or with anyone who wouldn't die to protect you. Yes, I know some lady hitchhiked through the third world. This person was lucky and stupid. Don't underestimate Mother Nature's mandate to see you pregnant. The myth that violation isn't about intimacy is idiocy. Power and intimacy are always combined. That's why you highly desired women don't mate with weak and poor men. Be realistic. Ignore propaganda and watch nature videos about primates to understand authentic human nature. Story 35. Stop with attempts at subtlety. You're too good at it. Men, for the most part, are not subtle creatures. We don't understand it. If you want to tell us something, just come out and say it. If you want us to do something, just ask. If you like a guy, ask him out. If something is bothering you, just be open about it and let us try to help. More relationships have been destroyed because men didn't get what their partner was hinting at. We're unsubtle creatures. Hell, you'll probably have to tell us something a few times for us to fully get it. Story 36. This comment has been overwritten by an open source script to protect this Userapos' privacy. If you would like to do the same, add the browser extension, GreaseMonkey, to Firefox and add this open source script. Then simply click on your username on Reddit, go to the comments tab, and hit the new overwrite button at the top. Story 37. I wholeheartedly want to be with you forever. You inspire me to achieve my best, and when I do, you're the first one I want to share it with. I get up and make you breakfast in the morning because I want to. When I stir your coffee and chop up a mango, or whatever is for breakfast, I constantly imagine what surprise you'll throw at me today, because each day feels like a new adventure. You make me feel as though I'm actually living my life, even though without you, my 9-to-5 schedule would be dull. You put the blue in my sky, and I love you for that. I love you. Story 38. Well, my lady is pretty good about this, but I think it can be said to all women, including her. Just because I'm a strong, fully grown man with a hairy chest and big arms doesn't mean I don't like to be babied from time to time. We like it when you tell us we're cute or come and give us a spontaneous hug, and we love all the little things that you don't think we notice. Other than that, I'd say women, and men for that matter, support the stereotype that most men are simple in regard to their immediate desires and what they're thinking. No, we don't always want to get laid. We aren't always thinking about one-upsmanship, and we aren't always as clam as we look. Story 39. Don't pretend to like things I like. Don't falsify emotions because of some daft reason. Don't go telling everyone you were with me because you felt sorry for me. I was truly in love with you. I was scared about my problems and troubles, but I never brought it up because every day when I reach home, I love when you call me just to talk. It makes me forget about all the bad things. I love going out and watching movies, then talking about how bad the movie was. I love teaching you how to cook and you teaching me how to eat like a pizza, mi home. I love when you scream panickingly at every little mistake you make. I loved when we used to do all these crazy things at night and just make love into the night, not knowing how to do it, just doing it. Story 40. There is no 10 ways you can drive him crazy in the bedroom secret that Cosmo or whatever can tell you. We're not that complicated. Give us good blowjobs. Just put in the effort. Don't be shy about it. Don't come off with a vibe of thinking it's icky. Also, showing desire in your partner. Attitude goes further than just about anything. Some of us would rather be with someone with an open, adventurous attitude to intimacy than someone that's just plain hot. To equate this into a superficial way, I'd rather be with a 3 or 4 with a great attitude to intimacy than an 8 or 9 that's a dud. Attitude goes much further than looks. Story 41. When you are speaking to us, please look at us and make sure that we are in fact listening. Don't assume we are, as we sometimes filter things out. 1. Women, we love you and find you awesome. Please remember that beauty is way more than physical appearance. A super beautiful girl can turn into the most ugly of persons based on personality. This applies to both men and women, actually. 1. Insecurities. Men and women both have them. If you are worried about something, please come and discuss it with us. Do not assume that we can read your minds. 1. Again, we can't read your minds. If you have the mindset that we should be able to automatically know what mood you're in and to fully accommodate everything, then you will most certainly have a bad time. Swing number 1. We know that sometimes our interests don't match yours, but at least try to give some support. Just a little bit of support means a lot to us. This goes for men also in regards to a woman's interests. 1. I know that some of you can go without intimacy for what feels like an eternity and be fine with it. Most of us can't. It brings on the worst of frustrations. If you have a valid reason for not wanting intimacy, tell us, please. Just tell us so that we may visit Right Hand Sandy. 1. On the subject of intimacy, please initiate from time to time. We don't always like to be the only one initiating everything, and we shouldn't be expected to do so. This goes both ways, obviously. Story 42. It's hard for me to cry. IDK, why it just is. And when I have problems, I just keep them to myself. I don't meanie, I don't whine, I just get back to the grind, and that's how I am. Don't keep pushing me to express my feelings. I don't mind not being all emotional, and you shouldn't either. Story 43. I love snuggling up with you, and it's my favorite pastime. But when I've got shoot to do, I'm not going to blow it off to lay around with you all day. That's a recipe for failure and laziness. I will not let myself get lazy. I love you. Don't hurt me. Story 44. The guys that are laughing at your jokes are most likely sucking up to you, especially at a bar or while playing video games. That doesn't mean that women aren't funny. A lot more women are getting undeserved laughs at awful jokes than men, and I find that unfair, lol. Inversely, the men not laughing at your jokes aren't unfun assholes. Some of them, anyway. You'll get a lot less laughs from a room of men in dedicated relationships than a room of single men. Story 45. When I say I'm sorry, I mean it. Don't dismiss me telling you how truly sorry I am for an action and belittling me for it. Even if you don't realize, for God's sake, take it sincerely and accept it. Don't leave me in the dark. It's tormenting. I've had enough of never saying sorry when I should have and saying sorry where I shouldn't have. I'm a mess and I know it. I make mistakes. I say things. Not all of it intentional and not all of it directed at you. If I say I'm sorry, you have know how much weight that carries for me. I don't want to lose anyone else because of my own stupidity. I know I drag you down. Accept my apology, sincerely and truthfully, or don't at all and tell me. Don't lead me on. Story 46. Don't be an empty vessel. If all you have going for you is being hot, you'll eventually wind up used and haggard. Be interesting in your own right and not codependent upon the interest level of your SO. Also, being hot doesn't give you the right to be rude and condescending, especially to the female members of our family. My best friend was here before you. He will be a permanent fixture in my life. If you can't stand him, it's time to walk away. Don't say that you want equality and then demand preferential treatment. I'm looking at Reddit lady who cut down a tree and deemed her husband worthless. We love you, but to get things done, sometimes we need large chunks of time and solitude. We can't concentrate on more than one thing, and if you're around, we're concentrating on on you. This includes texting conversation starters. Please stop watching reality TV if you're the type to emulate those horrible people. Be less self-absorbed. I once ended a relationship because my SO was never willing to help anyone other than herself, or even donate clothes that were never worn. Also, don't say hell no if your SO asks if you'd like to volunteer somewhere. Take whatever we say in the best way possible. That's how we meant it. Don't jump to conclusions over assumed tone in a text. Don't treat us like an ATM if you don't want to be treated like a bang maid. If we had the money, we'd treat you like a queen. Don't belittle us about how much money we don't have, especially if we're working very hard just to scrape by. You don't have to show everything you have to be attractive, and you don't have to completely cover your face with gunk. We like freckles. Nothing makes me want to drive a pencil through my eardrum than hearing you talk bad about your friends behind their backs. We don't like your pug. We don't want pictures of your pug. We don't want constant updates about your pug. If a man helps you raise your children and is a truly good father figure, and for some reason you fall out of love, it's not right to take those kids away cold turkey. You expect a man to love your children and become truly emotionally invested in them and then suddenly stop? That is simply wrong. Don't falsely accuse your children's father of something terrible. I know from experience that the child will grow up not trusting that person and most likely will resent you if any of it is ever found to be untrue because you've stolen untold memories and emotions from that child. Story 47. I'm not like your exes, as neckbeard as that sounds. I know you've had a troubled past with exes who've cheated on you. I know it'll take time to trust me, but eventually you're going to have to take a leap, if not at least a step, of faith and trust me. It may seem like an odd foreign concept, but I only have feelings for you. It's not hard for me to find someone and give my everything to them. Pleasing you pleases me. I'm not going to cheat on you. Story 48. There is a good chance that most guys who are at all experienced with women may not get hard just by making out with you or even fingering you. You need to touch the male body part. The amount of times I have gotten a what the fudge type of reaction from a girl because I'm not hard after making out for a while she just lays there as I finger her baffles me. Story 49. We really don't care about the useless drama that you think is important. We think you're important to us, but we don't think that the stuff you worry about is all that worrisome in the whole grand scheme of things. Please don't think I'm saying this as an insult. I'm not. I just know that men tend to look at the big picture with most things, including drama. Story 50. Men are not just mindless intimacy machines. We have feelings, needs, and wants just like you. We just have different ways of expressing them. If a man opens up to you, it's a special thing for most of us, especially introverts. And when we do, it's typically a large volume of emotions, which can be overwhelming. But society has told us to keep it in, so we do. I do. Every single serious issue I have had with my life, I have dealt with alone internally. It is still this way. Even though I could be considered popular by some because they are my problems to deal with. It even took me a long time to open up to my ex of 3 years when we were dating. And even then I wouldn't show how extreme the emotional toll some things took. Society tells us to shut the fudge up, hold it in, and fudge meanie. We're supposed to be stoic and cold and know what to do in nearly all situations. Naturally, this wears on our psyche. I'm not saying men have it harder than women because honestly, being a woman is probably leagues more fudge up. But life is in no way a cakewalk for us either. And just because we act like everything is okay, just like everything else in life, if you dig deep enough, things probably aren't. Most of us always have something to share, but only to the right person and only at the right time. Story 51. Judge me by what I do, not what I say or don't say. If I'm making efforts to please you or make you happy, it's probably because I value you a great deal and want to keep you around, even if I seem to have trouble articulating the depths of my soul when you press me on it. Likewise, if I'm saying all the right things, but it never really translates into action, I'm probably just using you for intimacy. P.S. Balls need love too. Story 52. Just because I smiled at you or held open a door doesn't mean I'm into you. So seriously, don't give me a dirty look for doing something nice and courteous that everyone should be doing for one another. It's just a nice guy being nice. I'm not trying to sleep with you or deem you the weaker intimacy. Also, if you're out with a guy friend and someone asks if you're together, don't say, oh no, or anything like that. Even if you're our friend and we don't want anything from you beyond that, shoot still stings. Story 53. When I tell you something personal, possibly embarrassing, in strict confidentiality, think twice before you tell a girlfriend. B, use it in an argument. I really don't care if A, she doesn't even know anyone I know, or B, it was simply the heat of the moment. Some fuck-ups can't be unfucked. Story 54. Hello, women of Reddit. Listen up. And I can safely say this for the vast majority of us guys. If you catch us watching adult content with our hands down our pants, if you catch us looking at the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue, if you catch us watching the Victoria's Secret Specials Camericals, or anything of the sort, you're not going to believe this. But it has absolutely nothing to do with you. Now, if your guy tells you some bullshit like, you need to look like this, or you can stand to lose a few pounds, then yeah, dump his jerk. Answer. You have to get why that seems like bullshit though, right? It's pretty easy to get the message. If I want to be intimacy attracted to someone, I would never pick someone who looks like you. And then when you want intimacy later and claim, you're so sexy, you're the only one I want, it feels more like, you're the only one I can get my hands on right now. But if I had that model, I'd never take a second glance at you. Story 55. Sometimes I need time with my guy friends. It has nothing to do with you. Sometimes I just want to grab a drink and watch the game with some friends without getting a text every 5 minutes. I just want to get mad and yell at the TV when Flacco takes a stupid sack, when Tommy Hunter blows a save, or Adam Jones swings at that low and outside pitch, when Ovi can't score on a power play, whatever, without hearing about how they can't hear me. I know they can't. I just want to yell, God damn it. And my friends want to yell with me. If I say I don't care about something, where what we eat, what we do, then I mean that I really don't care either way. I'd rather you be happy than me get my preferred choice, because I don't really care if I eat Chinese food or a pizza. Either way is perfectly fine with me. Lastly, if I say I'm not mad, then I'm not mad. You continuously asking if I'm mad is what's going to end up making me mad. Story 56. Historically, from my relationships, the fact that I'm a man does not make it okay to hit me. Stop that. No, I don't care if you think you're just playing. I can find you intimacy attractive and care about your personality at the same time. Is that not how your half of the relationship works? Get on top once in a while. You're not the only one that likes to be down there. Story 57. Our self-identity and self-worth is far more likely to be intertwined with our work and accomplishments than our relationships and appearance. If we lose our job, or have trouble providing, or even lose a sports match that we identify with, it can be far more emotionally and psychologically burdensome than you might expect. Story 58. I am not jealous of your gay best friend. Your gay best friend is the best bro I could ask for. When you go shopping with him during the weekend, I get so fudge excited, because that means I get to play video games all day. And when you come home, I get to see that new sexy underwear he picked out for you. That is literally the definition of the perfect bro. Story 59. Instead of telling a guy to wrap things up when in bed, if he's gone on a bit longer than you'd like, it's better to just make him finish up. Use your imagination, and probably your hand too, for that matter. Otherwise, it's a lot of pressure, which usually makes things even worse and makes the dude feel bad. Story 60. If you aren't interested in a guy who is clearly interested in you, tell him. Don't string him along for months saying, I'm busy, but we'll hang out soon, hoping he'll take the hint. Another good point. We don't take hints. Just say what you gotta say, sweetheart. And don't hide behind the cover. I don't want to hurt his feelings. It's gonna hurt way more if you give us hope for weeks and then just stop answering. Story 61. You will come second to my job. I love my work, and my job makes me money, which allows me to buy shoot for both of us while keeping us from being stressed about budgets and bills. If you want more attention than I can give you, it's not going to work. Let me know so we can both stop wasting each other's time. Story 62. There are times when we don't want to hang out with you, but this doesn't mean we don't like you. Have your own friends, your own hobbies that you can spend your own time doing. Don't fake interest in our interests and hobbies. This is both painful, obvious, and futile. No, you can't change us. Intelligence and personality are the sexiest things about women, but this does not give you a pass on the other qualities. We play video games, have internet friends, and can easily spend an entire day and or night doing stuff with them. Get involved or get over it. Don't ask us what we are thinking. Come up to me, introduce yourself, and ask me out if you like me. Story 63. A few things, actually. First, food. When we ask what you want to eat, pick something. We're going to pay for it too. Second, those loaded questions. Asking us, does this make me look fat? Or do you think she's pretty? Is always a trap. You know what the right answers are. And if you don't get them from us, it's like stepping into a bear trap rigged with explosives. It's just mean. Third, blowjobs. No matter what this month's edition of Cosmopolitan says, teeth should never be involved. Teeth are sharp and man sausages are soft and sensitive. If you want effective man blowing, use lots of tongue and, as my friend always says, don't forget the balls. Fourth, our side of intimacy. Obviously, it's going to feel good for us no matter what, but don't be boring. Laying there like an uninterested corpse while we do all the work sucks. Also, changing positions frequently is a way to keep it exciting. Fifth, your side of intimacy. If you want something done or we're doing something you like, say something. It can be a sexy "don't stop" or anything else for that matter. But if you want to take a train ride to Climax Town, you've got to let the conductor know where you want to go. Sixth, just us time. Believe it or not, we want to spend time with you and just you often. When we have to fight for your attention, whether because you're on your phone or talking to someone else in the room, it can get annoying after a while. Seventh, us plus others time. There are times when we want to be with you around other people. This could be a group of friends, family, or anyone else. It's fun to spend time together in the company of other people we care about. Eight, apart time. Sometimes we don't want to spend time with you. Don't read too deep into this. We may want to be alone and browse Reddit or go hang out with some friends. Plus, we want you to do the same. Always clinging to each other isn't healthy. Ninth, our friends. You probably dislike some of our friends, but tough shoot. Unless this friend is legitimate bad news, always getting us into trouble and other stuff, don't bug us about them. Just because you may not like one of our friends doesn't mean that we don't. Don't make us choose between you and them. 10th, your friends. Your friends can get very annoying very quickly. We don't mind being around your friends, but just like our friends, yours should only be taken in small doses. When you're with all your friends, we always take the back seat, and that sucks. 11th, when we're upset. If we are upset about something, don't stress about it. Most likely it is something irritating and trivial, and we will tell you if it concerns you. Most of the time, though, it has to do with something like our car needs the oil changed or our boss is a dickhead and we are thinking of ways to stab him and get away with it. Not really, obviously. If I think of anything else, I'll edit this. Eat it. I'm bad at numbers. Story 64. Two things. I can recall with perfect clarity every single compliment I've ever been given. Men don't get compliments like women, so when we do it, absolutely floors us and makes our entire month. Like the time the front desk woman at the YMCA told me that she liked my hair. If I can't get off during intimacy, don't ask what's wrong or assume it's because you aren't attractive enough. That makes me feel bad because I can't get off, which makes it harder to get off, which makes you feel worse, which turns into a really nasty spiral. There are a lot of reasons why guys don't always get during intimacy, and sometimes it's just not happening. Story 65. Please do not judge us by our friends. Nearly all of our male friends were gained like in The Walking Dead. They answered our own 3 questions satisfactorily enough to become part of the group. There are some in our group of friends that we regret letting in, but men tend to let them die on the vine versus confront them and cast them out. Jeff is a real shoot. He never pays his share and tries to talk to Mike's teenage daughter about dating. That is fudge up. Fudge that guy. Jeff does not know we are not going to help him anymore when walkers are bearing down on him. So just understand that some of the guys I know are dead to me already. They just don't know it yet. Story 66. It feels degrading when we are approaching each other on the street and you hold your jacket closed with one hand just for me to walk by. Then boom, wide open jacket after passing, as if all men are eyeballing your breasts. Or maybe it's something else. Story 67. When you're upset about something and you refuse to tell me what it is, my only choice is to either nag you about it, doesn't work, or just make an attempt to pretend everything is okay, doesn't work. What is SOP here? Why do you insist on putting the burden of first move on guys? We don't like rejection either. Story 68. That we're not always hitting on you? If we see a girl wearing something we like, or if her hair looks nice, or maybe she has a nice smile, we should be able to give her a compliment without getting a look of disgust and fear back. I just wanted to say you look nice today, not kidnap and violation you. Story 69. Sometimes a conversation can mean a lot. Last February past midnight, I was heading home on the subway after work. I took a small nap, and this pretty lady wakes me up just to strike a conversation with me. At first, I was annoyed she woke me up, but it turned into a wonderful conversation. I didn't even realize she had friends with her until her stop came, and they were pounding on the window for her to get out before the door closes. Story 70. My girlfriend constantly tries to tell me how to drive or makes little noises when I'm turning. Not cute noises, which would be funny every once in a while, but panic noises. I'm a great driver. There is no need to do that. It's actually more likely to cause an accident than otherwise. We have since started a toll for every time she tries to tell me how to drive or makes a weird noise when I'm changing lanes or turning. This weekend cost her 10. Each time cost her $1. We were in the car for about 30 minutes. Story 71. If you're wondering why we never show our emotions, with a lot of men it's because we've been conditioned not to, that it's not manly to show emotions. It's not what a real man does. Some of us don't even know how to properly express our emotions because of this. Story 72. Don't run during after an argument and expect a guy to run after you and try to get you back. Leaving means you need your space to cool down, and that's perfectly reasonable. It's surprising how many girls, even after the high school relationship bullshit phase, still pull this and then get so mad that you don't care about them because you didn't go running after. You want to leave? Leave. I don't have time to play games with you. Story 73. Jerking off while watching adult content are things guys have been doing since 13. When a guy gets horny, he needs that release, and adult content expedites the process. It's not going to stop even if you dislike it and think it's cheating. We're just going to be more stealthy. Story 74. The phrase real men don't cry can be true, but oftentimes it's because we want to but can't cross some psychological barrier where the tears roll down our face. Our hearts can be tearing apart, and we just want to let loose with the waterworks, but there's some knee-jerk reaction not to. Not sure if it's nature or nurture in my case. Story 75. We love compliments. Also, if you want us to be more vocal in bed, tell us. Moaning goes against everything we've been taught to do as men, but it seems we've been lied to, and many of you enjoy it. So tell your man you like the vocals, and he'll probably be more than happy to turn up the volume. Story 76. If you think a guy is cute, and you've never met him before, go approach him. The rules that apply to us don't all apply to you, but it is possible to step over the line. It's a lot harder for a girl to be creepy because guys never get attention like that. Story 77. I'm not saying this is indicative of all women by any means, but last night at a nightclub, I was buying some drinks for my friends, and then I suddenly feel this brushing on my back and leg. I ignore it, but eventually look over. Two girls were standing there. I decided to introduce myself, as obviously they wanted to strike up some conversation. As soon as we introduced ourselves, one of the girls said, "Sambuca, please don't ever do this." It just annoys me, who just approaches someone and asks for a drink without hardly speaking to them. I may buy you a drink later if I'm enjoying our conversation, but after just introducing is just rude. I just told her no and turned away. Story 78. All the handmade cards and cheesy things I did for you that you love so much were only for you. I don't have the want or dare to do it for any other girl because you were, are, and will always be special to me. There's no other girl quite like you. Story 79. We have to adjust our tackle occasionally. We aren't doing it to be weird suggestive. Our man parts just get uncomfortably stuck to the inner thigh and must be rearranged. Some guys get self-conscious about this, and it doesn't help when they get an odd look from a girl that says, "OMG, did that guy just touch his junk?" Story 80. That even though you're my best friend and I love you, I would lie down in traffic for you. I would take all your pain and make it my own if I knew you would be safe and happy. Doesn't mean I secretly want you as a girlfriend. It means I love you, and I can't believe I lived so long without you, and I can't see living without you. You are quirky and fun and moody, and you make me laugh when I wanted to end it all. So yes, pure love doesn't mean I want to get in your pants. It means you're my best friend, and I love you. P.S. That boy who broke your heart, I dislike him more than you can imagine. Story 81. We don't spread our legs out to be jerkholes. We do it so our balls are not squeezed to passing by our legs. Edit. My highest rated comment, and it's about my balls being squeezed by my legs. I have gone into more detail about this now than I would like to. Thanks, though. Story 82. We're actually very emotional. One of the common social perceptions of men is that we're supposed to be rugged and tough, and for the most part, we try and fit that. But we're not made of stone, and sometimes it's nice to depend on someone and not be depended on. We like to cry too. Story 83. I am absolutely capable of, and in fact enjoy, doing nothing. I do not need to be productive or doing something at all times. Playing video games is actually more stimulating than watching reality television. No, I do not care if she said yes to that dress. I am regularly amazed that I am sleeping next to you. Story 84. Look, if you are a reasonably attractive woman and have been on a dating website for 2 years or more and having been hit up by literally hundreds of men and are still struggling to even remotely kick with any of them, the problem isn't that they are all douchebags. The problem is that you have a bad attitude with entitlement issues and that you don't actually give them a chance. Or that you are only open to a very small subset of men that actually are douchebags, and you should really broaden your horizons a little. Story 85. Some things I can control and some things I can't. I think women are just as intelligent and insightful as men, just as capable of making great art or cracking the secrets of the universe with science. I would consider the fact that there are many places where women can't even drive, let alone speak or vote, to be one of the biggest tragedies of the world today. All that being said, if you have nice boobs or hips, I'm going to eye-bang the shoot out of you. It's not right or fair, but it happens. Story 86. After we have intimacy, I love to look at you for a little while. You're freaking gorgeous, and I'm kind of average, so I'm a bit excited and proud of myself that I get to spend the night with you. My ex-girlfriend and I had intimacy the other night, and she just lay on my bed naked while I gave her a back rub, and it was fudge awesome. Also, a guy's personality is no indicator of who he is in bed. I'm a very easygoing guy, but I get insanely aggressive during intimacy. I'm going to pull your hair, bite your neck, and leave my handprints all over your jerk. But I promise to cuddle you after. Story 87. That we aren't as different from you as you think we are, though this goes both ways. Honestly, we feel the same emotions. We are just as insecure as you are, and we are just as lonely too. Sometimes we are tired or we are annoyed, and that is okay, and we can't read minds. I think the problems arise from expectations as opposed to real differences. So the best way to deal with that is not to make assumptions about how someone feels. People don't always want to talk about their problems. Sometimes we just want to forget them and leave them behind before having to go back to them the next day. It's nice when you are there to help us forget those problems. Being reminded of those problems can just remind us of the stress that comes along with what those problems are. Dash juice. And while I can't speak for all guys on this, I think we all secretly like cute things too. Story 88. We are not useless. We are not monsters. We do not need you to stomp us into something acceptable. We would quite like to be appreciated. We would really like you to stop putting the boot into our hobbies, interests, and opinions. Please learn the difference between playful teasing and being a bit of a meanie. We will never ever have an opinion about cushions. Following you around a shopping center is not actually enjoyable. We love it when you smile. Story 89. Guys need alone time, not with other guys, but by themselves. It has nothing to do with how we feel about you. We love to be with you, but we can get drained and we need to recharge our batteries from time to time, maybe for a day or two. Again, we're not out cheating. We're not out with our boys. We're simply recharging so we won't be tired when we see you. Story 90. If you are on a bike in a bike lane, and a lot of cyclists are waiting in a line for the lights to change, do not skip the entire queue and wait at the front. It does not make you an independent, strong woman. Every day, every single day, it fudge happens. And then, of course, you get pissed off when overtaken when going at a slow speed. This is something I would like women to know. Christ. Story 91. I got more. If you like a guy, tell him. Fudge. No girls ever told me they liked me when I was in high school, but then I graduate, get a girlfriend, and these two girls, both 10-10 in my book, and both girls I had a crush on at some point, send me some texts about how they found out I had a girlfriend, and how it sucks because they wanted to be with me, and how they dropped so many hints. Well, maybe you should have fudge told me. Story 92. A shoot ton of makeup is not required. Most of us men love the all-natural look versus the John Wayne Gacy look. Less makeup shows confidence in yourself. Too much makeup shows insecurity. If a guy doesn't like you without makeup, he isn't the one to settle down with. Story 93. If we're in a relationship, don't make me feel bad for having hobbies. My ex used to complain on Facebook when I'd play video games longer than an hour, even though I never played them when I was with her. I honestly couldn't even enjoy myself if she said anything, because I felt like a shoot boyfriend. I made a joke about her watching 90210 while we were having date night, mind you, and she cried for the rest of the night while her friends sent me angry text messages. Story 94. In a relationship, if you don't want the guy to do something, it should be okay for him to expect the same from you. On a similar note, if you tell your SO that's not the same, you should consider if it's not in fact the same. This sounds really butthurt, but I'm running into this problem all the time at the moment, and it's extremely frustrating. Story 95. Those small cuts that you make hurt, be them vocal or implied. We can't stop thinking about them, and we will go on in our heads repeating the situation, fighting back, regretting, and absolutely stressing. We're not a stone wall to throw your anger against and see what happens. Story 96. You don't have to dress like a whore to look incredibly sexy. Those nice jeans and a fluffy jumper can drive me wild. Also, don't try to emulate any of those adult content girls with their fake moaning. Be yourself and be genuine. It's so much hotter. Also, the blowjobs. I've seen you suck your favorite Tangle Twister, Ice Pop in the summer. That's how you do it. It's so much hotter. And the softest, gentlest kisses on the tip are amazing. Oh, and we always want a random head massage anytime. Puts us under your spell. Story 97. Rough intimacy can be good, but make sure you know how to properly ride cowgirl. One time I felt and literally heard a pop because my male body part was bent in half and her weight bared down on it. It didn't hurt, but I went to the doctor anyway, and the doc said it happens and it's fine. In addition, this girl was inexperienced. She said she only had one other partner before me and never had in climax. I didn't believe this until we had intimacy, and she just laid there looking deep into my eyes all creepy. After about a week, she started easing into intimacy with me and was more comfortable and expressive. This one time, starting with standard missionary, I lifted her up and put her on top. She was really getting into it and then starting hopping up on it really hard. She kind of has a big pubic bone, so I guess when she came back down at wrong angle, it kind of bent my male body part. I immediately grabbed her by the waist and put her to the side. She said that she felt it pop and asked if I was okay. I tried to remain calm, but I was worried as fudge. She started to call up and hug me. I started looking at it on the internet, and by most accounts, it said that I would be okay. I went to the doctor the next day, and everything is okay. Honestly, intimacy was never the same with her because, to put it bluntly, she was afraid of breaking my male body part again. Story 98. If you like us, please give us less than subtle hints. I may just be speaking for myself, but we don't tend to pick up on that stuff all too well. Also, not every guy out there looks at women like walking female body part. A good deal of us are actually searching for a legitimate relationship. Story 99. While I enjoy talking in general, talking about my emotions is difficult, confusing, and utterly inadequate to express them. Because of these limitations, I find myself putting up barriers during discussions around emotional topics, and at best, disassociating myself from my emotions and from you during those discussions, meaning that I don't really connect with you emotionally through discussion. The only really meaningful way I have of connecting with you is through intimate physical touch, particularly in terms of intimacy. The fact that I think about intimacy and want intimacy often shouldn't be dismissed as he's a horn dog, but should instead be seen as my hunger to connect with you and for our souls to touch. Guys blow this off when talking about it and play it off to be base and nothing, really, but mostly that is because of the above issues with communication. Story 100. Don't text me saying, hey, we need to talk. When I'm asleep, I'll probably be up before you and you're going to make me panic until you're awake wondering what I've done wrong. Just tell me what you want to say. Edit. Also, if we ask you out and you want more time to get to know one another, tell us that then rather than later. It hurts less that way. Story 101. The vast majority of men do care how many partners you've had. On some level, men don't want to know how many partners you've had before them because they want to imagine on some small level that you can love them uniquely without the thought of other men having already received that love. Many men rationalize this away due to the hookup culture zeitgeist that has swept most Western nations. They can't do anything about it, so they adapt to it. So yes, men care about your number. Even if they don't outwardly express it, and even if they support it in some way, it does change how they look at you or themselves in some way. Story 102. Please never, ever, ever ask us if you're fat or say you're fat. Most of the time, they're not actually fat. And if we say, no, you're not, we get a yes, I am. Stop saying that just to make me feel better. I don't even want to think what would happen if we said yes. But the point is, don't awkwardly put is in that situation. It's very annoying. Story 103. If I ask what's wrong and you respond with, I'm fine, it's okay, nothing, or anything along those lines, and I give up after anything more than 2 tries, then it's your problem to deal with. I tried, you didn't enable me to help, so I can't help you. Just because I enjoy talking to you doesn't automatically mean I am actively trying to bang you right then. If you ask me what I want to do and I say anything, then I mean anything. Whether that be going to a movie, sitting on the couch, strolling a park, driving around and getting lost somewhere new, or even just banking a cake, I really don't care. When you ask why I'm mad at you after I just got back from something because I didn't respond with what you expected, or instantaneously, I'm probably not mad at you. More than likely, there's something else going on in my head, and I don't want to unload all my stress straight onto you and make your day shoot. If you're trying to make me guessing for something based on vague clues, I'm not going to get it. This is especially true if it's something serious to do with you. Just tell me so I can figure out the next move. Story 104. Sometimes we just need that downtime during the week. Maybe for an hour or so after we get home, we just need to relax. I just spent 14 hours working my jerk off. It's not that I love you any less. I just don't want to poison you with the stress I gained from that day. I'll tell you about the day if you ask, but please don't get on me as soon as I get home. Give me those few minutes to myself to clean up, get comfortable, and drink something cool. Story 105. Moving in together does not make things easier, simpler, or fix our problems. You have to keep working on things to continue the spark. You saying you're tired, stressed, or putting it off hurts us a great deal. Life only gets more stressful as time goes on, and the more you put things off in our relationship only makes you that more comfortable not doing anything at all. My desire to have intimacy with you all the time is because we have been together and I know what I like, and I trust myself with you, not because I'm a huge pervert who only has one thing on his mind. Men are just as complex and worried. The more you say you aren't in the mood or you're too stressed, the more you push us away and make us feel unattractive. There are two people in this relationship, and sometimes intimacy is just a great way to feel the closeness and love during the stressful times. Don't make second jobs for yourself or me. Take care of the job right the first time. Great advice for the world.